So young baby. Oh, I didn't realize we had a record. Oops.
Should have finished it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another podcast from Time and Taxes. Tonight we have Hein, we have Klein, and we have Nevin. What a pleasure to be here. Tonight will be interesting. We laid back. We're about to have some fun and just pick your brains a little bit on some interesting topics that we felt could have an effect on your daily lives. Next up is Klein. Mr. Klein, what do you have to say for to what do you have? Hi, Mr. Klein. What have you got for us tonight?
Good evening, everybody. So good to be back. What a pleasure. And I like how you say Mr. Klein, very formal there, Evan.
Hey man, you're an important guy to me, so I give you the respect you deserve.
Love it, love it. Nice to be here again, gentlemen. It's been a long week, lots to speak about. And as we get started, I like to think of, sharing something that's fun and relatable tonight. But let's just hear quickly how's Hein doing. Hein, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, man. I always love it when you say good evening, everybody.
It reminds me of Joe's barber, yeah.
It always cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
It just puts you in a good mood and I feel ready for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's
Nice.
beautiful.
Lekker warm
Um,
vandag, ja.
yeah, lekker warm dagje.
Yeah, yeah,
Môre
Mr.
gaan dit
Hein.
warm wees, ja.
Wat is dit mooi, Marcella?
Ja, dat is
Yeah.
morgen warm. Ja.
Maar gister was ook warm, ja.
Nog
Ja.
Van gisteren praat je, hè?
Ja, warm.
Je
Warm.
moet wel wat Sheila
Oh,
gezien het niet.
Awesome memories,
Ah,
man.
coach
And
for
taking us back to Cape Town. And let's start, boys. So, fun and relatable topic tonight. I thought that we would start off with. As we grow older, and it was Devon's birthday on Saturday, and that always comes with a bit of a scare as to what's next, what's happening, where have we come from and where we going. And the question that I'd like to, pose to you boys tonight is things we believed as kids that no longer make sense.
Chappies. Chappies facts. Did you know? I believed in
Oh,
Chappies.
I loved
You
that as a
believed in
kid,
chappies?
man.
Man, I for many years I still thought that bubblegum comes from elephant snot. You know?
Oh.
Yeah,
You
no,
Oh,
remember
that
you
that
mean
happened
like
fact?
to me as
bubble
well.
gum? I thought you meant like the actual chappies because I was thinking of, when you're like, what do you know? Like, that's the best.
You the both of it. Eating it and the facts. Chappies facts, Klein.
Is that your answer? So yeah, I
I
was
thought you
a
meant like the bubble
big
gum
lover of
snot.
the Chappies bubblegum because you would actually learn something when you ate the bubblegum, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But so much of that's not true, man. Come on.
Dude,
Did you
ask me
know
any
that
of those facts today. I remember none of it.
well,
How did you discover that it's not true?
because I know for a fact that there's no amount of elephant that can supply all that snot for us to have bubble gum. To
Wait,
start,
that
to
wasn't in the
start,
Japanese papers.
that was in the
Is that
Japanese
what was
paper.
said on the
No,
Chappies paper? Wasn't that like
Yes.
something our
no
mother
way.
used?
Exactly. That's what your grandma used to say, right?
No,
Like,
no. We
Right,
have
yeah.
to. We're gonna Jamie pull that up. I'm sure that we have one of the. Did you know that bubblegum was made from elephant snot? I'm gonna hold all of you to that, and we can fact check. There were
guys,
so many of them.
in the comments, is it true that
Yeah.
it was on
I think
Chappies?
that I think that Nevin's mother was that believable that you made it seem as if it came from the Chappies bubblegum
No,
itself.
I think it's something Lala would say. Lala would probably say, like,
Yes.
I said, what if it's something? I hear thing.
What?
I don't know. Somehow I remember her as it being something she would say.
Yeah, and so for you, Hein, just to dive a bit deeper, what in life has taken a different, direction as it came to the things that you believed when you were a child, now that you're an adult?
I mean, I think it's probably like one of the simple, boring stuff, like, wait, I remember a story, right? When I was like really young and one of my teeth fell out, right? And my mom put it in the shoe and she said, the mouse is going to come and give you money, right?
I
So
love
the
it.
next morning, I wake up and I'm like looking at my shoe and there's like a one rand in the shoe. But you remember those old big one rands?
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
big
Oh, that
coins,
was our
yeah.
pocket money at one point. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So it was one of those. And I was like, hmm, I smell bullshit. A mouse came with a coin. How did he carry this coin? Where did the mouse get the coin? Like I was smelling bullshit. But that's probably one of the things. But I don't think I believed that very long. Because you know what I did? The second time it happened,
You didn't tell your mom
I didn't tell my mom. I put it in the
Mm.
shoe. I put it under the bed, and the next morning I was like, "Let me go." Guess what I found?
a tooth.
There we go. No wonder ends because I never told anybody.
That's so interesting because right now my kids are running with that fairy tale. And I mean, we have to keep up with the amount of teeth. As 3 kids, man. The amount of teeth falling out. And €1 is not 1 rand, eh? So and for some reason it's supposed to be €2 per tooth. And I say, hey baby, you must check the savings, huh? Because I'm giving out I'm giving out €8 every second week. It's a lot.
Education plan later on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
But do we understand what this actually does? You must love it, right? That look on their face. Okay, Don's getting a bit older. I can see that the muscles in his face are changing. He's like he's smelling bullshit, but he's gonna go along with the ride because he's intelligent enough to know if he calls this, he loses €2. So I
Yeah,
think he's just running with it, man. Like give me my money, give me my money, give me my money. I
clever,
know it's
clever
you.
boy,
I know it's you.
Yeah,
clever
no.
man,
I
right?
think that logic kicks in as young boys at that age already, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it actually does. It actually does. What about you, Glenn? Tell me what did you believe?
Well, it's not necessarily what I believed, but I just think that as children, life was so much more fun. And
Oh
being an
yeah.
adult isn't always the most fun, and the responsibilities that come with it.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it.
I think holidays were longer. Whenever we went on a holiday, when we finished school and we would play outside, Hein. I mean, we spent so many years playing outside, remember?
Mm,
And
mm,
we used to make go-karts with the ShopRite trolley. And
mm.
I mean, it felt like a summer holiday, felt like a lifetime. The amount of things we've done or could do in that time. I mean, most of the things I think about today when it comes to a holiday is like the summer of when we were young.
Mm.
We explored so far, like going from our house to like the shopping center felt like a proper mission. Like, it's now go time.
Right?
We had like a bottle of water, a nachi, an apple, banana, a slice of bread, and that was a mission. And when we got tired, it felt like we just entered World War II. Like the struggle was real. When we lost and being young and being lost, and you can't ask anyone. That's crazy. I'll tell you guys a story about being lost about Hein and I after we went to a party, but I'll wait for the guys to speak.
It's true. You know that distance nowadays, right? I walked to the gym and I was like, this is nothing. This distance from our house to the shopping center, it's nothing. But those days, it felt like, I don't know, walking to a different province.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just
I
think
didn't.
that the sense of responsibility that was put on our shoulders, to leave
Yeah,
home and almost,
yeah, yeah.
be kicked out of the nest. I think that excitement, that adrenaline kind of gets us. I remember, yeah, for us also going to Tiger Valley and going to the pools, the local community pools was always so much fun.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that.
and I don't know if this is true, but our parents would sometimes, pack in an extra bag for us. So I don't know if they wanted to be alone. And part of it was kicking you out of the nest, literally. But I think as boys, we were fortunate enough to get those privileges to leave home and walk as a group of boys to a specific event where those things are unheard of with the safety in the world today. And there's so much sheltering that needs to go on with our children. I think that we had a lot more freedom. And yeah, I don't know if that speaks into the character of who we are.
Interesting you mentioned about safety and the journeys we did as kids. Hein and I, as we got a little bit older, now we were about teenagers, right? And we were invited to a party by this new character. I don't know if his name was Tienis, or let's call him Tienis for now, right? And we went to, just as we crossed the bridge over from Brackenfell, North Pine, going into where ShopRite and Hyperama was, eh? Pick it
Mhm.
back. I think it was Hyperama, and we went drinking that night, right? And we couldn't get home because I lived at that moment. I lived in Delhi, so we had to walk back, Hein and I, and we were so drunk, the two of us. And do you remember how when the cops stopped us and they did us a pat down? And they're like, "Where you going?" Hein doesn't remember. Anyway, let me refresh your memory, Hein. So we walked home, right? From
Mhm.
from Brackenfell. This guy Hein met, and he's like, "Hey man, I met these dudes. They invited us over, and we took a bottle of Clippies with, right, and another brandy." And they were quite hospitable. They were nice, man. And anyway, long story short, at the end of the party, he's like, "I want julle moet na huis toe gaan, hè?" And anyway, and we start walking, and Heinz like, "This is duck far, man, to walk to Dalahay now." Anyway, long story short, we're walking on the main road, and the cops come and they stop us, and they pat us down like, "Where are you off to?" Right? And this is in high school, Klein.
Oh, that
And
was
we're
close to Stuckland, where the hospital
yes,
where they told
yes,
us.
yes, yes. And anyway, we're walking, and if you're coming from North Pipeline and you look towards you can see like it goes up. You can see all the way. You can see
Up
all the
the
way. So
hill,
you
bro.
can see where you're going to. Anyway, long story short, and the cops stop us and they pat us down. But anyway, we okay. And after they pat us, and he's busy patting me down, and he's like, "What's this?" I say, "That's my phone, man. Give me my phone." And he's like, "Oh, sorry." Anyway, because he thought maybe we were
Mm.
Back
bad
in.
guys, you know. And as they
Loaded.
finished and they realized, but these guys aren't what we thought they were, I said, "Look, you guys came from this side, man. We going there. Can't you just give us a lift? Can't we just jump in the back of the van?" And they said, "No." I'm like, "Look at these guys." Like they're
You
like,
Whoa.
can
"No,
walk. You can walk.
yeah, you can walk, you can walk." And I'm like, I wanted to say something like, you know, something
Mm.
bad so that I could close the distance between where I was and where we're going. But yes, after that little bit of excitement, we had to walk all the way. And Hein, remember, we drunk, right? We drunk. Hein's like, "No, we have to fucking sit." Yeah, we sat there. Like at one point, we dozed
In
off for
front
like
of
30 minutes.
Stuckland.
Oh my god, we have so many stories, Klein. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Bro.
amazing.
no, very cool. And I hope for your guys' sake that your kids are not listening to this specific episode because we're not condoning drinking when you're in high school. But we have
Exactly.
a very interesting story, very similar, Nevin, where we got lost and I think we were about out of school the same night of the helicopter. We
Oh,
got lost,
oh,
missioning all the way from Grand West to Stellenbosch, and on our way back home, we had gotten lost on this very dark, you know, ominous road,
I
and
remember
and
this.
I
decided to
know which
just
road that
park
is.
off, and we never went any further than that. But we also had a bottle of brandy, so we give it to
Yeah,
brandy has kept us going in those sad moments or those moments where we really needed something
Meneer
to rely
Richelieu,
on.
huh?
Mm.
British flu,
Yeah,
yeah. So
we had some amazing times,
You
and I
remember
mean
Mr.
that's
Russian Bear?
I
Mr.
mean
Russian
that
Bear was
is
oh
evil.
yeah, yeah.
That
I
guy is
think that
evil.
everybody growing up has a bad experience with vodka. And I think the PUKE word comes into mind.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
You know, let me before we switch over, I have to just add to that story of the hike. We gone to this guy on two occasions. The second occasion, because they were quite nice, I asked my mom to drop us off. Do you remember this one, Hein? So I asked my mom to drop us off, and then my mom and my grandma, she was still alive that time. Okay, they must have been out visiting some family friends, and I asked her to pick us up. But by the time they picked us up, right, we must have polished whatever we had, and we young boys, right, we must have polished those bottles. So by the time my mom picked us up, I was metaphorically wearing a big jacket and ek kry nou baie warm, hoor jy? Verstaan jy? And anyway, we go and I can feel that I don't feel myself and everything is spinning, but I don't want to say anything, right? Man, I can't hold it. I swear, I shit you not, guys. We weren't around the corner from home, and this is how Murphy works. And you know, we're not around the corner. It was just that turn. Everyone knows how my mom drives, man. You know, she drives a
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
and she just took that turn way too hard. And I think that everything inside that hot jacket said, "Nia, that is no date. That is no date of
It's
the
time now.
let go." Everywhere in the car, everywhere. My mom, my grandma, my sister, I. The cat is on the back. The cat is on the back. Oh
Oh, you
my
want to call
gosh,
that the
did
tiger out
Oh,
of the
stop,
bag, dude?
man.
That's way.
I, let me tell you, I was that day. Oh man, they got me red-handed, man.
Oh
Red-handed,
God,
finished,
that's
finished.
funny.
It was perfect. It was
Didn't you
perfect.
keep your parents on their toes, Nevin? Didn't you?
Oh, guys, I've got another story, man. Come on, I don't know if you have time for this, but I will put
I
it in
love
there.
story time. Go for it.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So you guys know my Toyota bubble, the 1800 GLE, right? Everyone knew that. That's the one we were gallivanting and partying in.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Klein.
that car. I
That's
used to call it. It's one of our friends as if it was our bestie. Yeah.
yeah. In my mind, she was always Eleanor because I couldn't afford a real Eleanor, so she was
Mhm.
my Eleanor.
Okay. Nice.
Anyway, so I just got my Eleanor and I'm in the beginning stages of I think I have my learners. And my mom and dad allows me to drive the car. And whenever I have a moment, I can also I'll steal the car, right? Anyway, so it was a good friend of mine, Kim. It was her dad's 50th birthday, and they invited family and friends, and they're originally from Port Elizabeth, and they invited their cousins over, and obviously we were partying at their house, and and her brother was lived about 5 minutes away from their parents' house, and obviously we were drinking a lot. And I said, no, I'll take my car because I'm a driver now and I have a car. We can go to your house because you wanted to get something. And on the way back, the famous Stickland Hospital. You know, the Stickland Hospital is over there. And this is a straight road. And I wanted to show them how fast my car is. And I drove down that road, man. And I'm like, look at this. I can get like to 100. And people, guys, this is, I do not try this at home. And I showed him how fast my car was, and I was driving a car, and I came to the T junction, and I could not stop in time, and I skid all the way across the road into Stickland Hospital. And the car was halfway in, halfway out, and I just put my car into reverse, and I went back, and I left and went back to the party. That's not the worst part. The next day, because there's more details to
It
that.
was a
I'll keep
fence,
it.
right? Was it the fence or was
No,
it like
it was the
fiberglass?
wall, fiber wall. Yes. So
Oh
I went
my.
right through halfway, reversed the car back, drove all the way back to Delahaye, right? Not Dalaray, Delahaye.
Yeah.
Dalaray is in Barrow.
Yeah.
And long story short, had an amazing time. What a fun party. The next morning, my mom comes up and she wakes me up. Donner, wat did jy gemaakt? And I'm so hungover. I'm like, what the hell is this lady talking about? You know? I don't know. And she pulls me by my ears and she takes me out to the kitchen and like, what the gaan hier aan? And I look at my car. I'm like, what happened here? And
You don't remember.
I had no memory of it. And the radiator was leaking water. It was completely smashed in the front. And I drove back to the party and from there back home. And as I recollected my memories, I was like, oh yeah, that's what happened. But the moment she chastised me and then showed me that, I had no recollection of what happened that day. Anyway, guys, this we will have to put it on
Yeah, no,
over 80. It's
a
over.
lot of mothers in Cape Town would have said you should have booked yourself into that Strickland hospital right there.
That was the joke for quite some time after that happened. Yes.
We get to enjoy speaking about it again. I think that's so beautiful that we get to connect and share with each other all the good times and just which was not good at the time. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like you say things we recommend children to get involved in as in a young age, but that bold character and that bold you know personality, and it's given us an opportunity to share with you guys such amazing stories. And yeah, pop us a comment, pop us a like. We'd like to hear what your guys' fun stories were as you guys were children, and what's different now as you are adults. Yeah, no, for the viewers, Strickland Hospital is an institution for the mentally ill.
Mm.
Just so you know, yeah.
It was probably a be on lookout for Nevin. Like, if anybody knows who crashed into this wall, can you please?
Yeah. Fun personal fact. I mean, everyone's starting to get to know me. Yes, I might as well say it. My grandfather was a brilliant mind, and because of that, he suffered a lot of how would you say that mental strain, and he was in Strickland Hospital as well. And he was a very intelligent man, but a
Mm.
little bit, you know him very well.
Mm.
And they say my mom got the most of that, but not when it comes to the intelligence, but the crazy part. So they always made a joke that she'll end up in Strickland as well. And then that
Mm.
was my introduction going through the wall. So the whole family, the whole generation, all of them
Genetically.
has been Strickland Hospital.
Mm.
Yes, but that's just a family joke.
Was your grandfather army soldier or something?
I have the
He
only
was a
thing I
principal,
do.
right?
He was a
Oh, he
history
was
teacher, principal, and the first black man, or not black but African man, conductor, music conductor, to make a record in
Oh,
Africa,
I
Mr.
didn't know that of
Fledermace.
him.
Yes.
Fledermaus.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's some brilliance and some uniqueness to our family. Not just that we are crazy, we are intelligent as well.
Awesome, man.
You know, fun fact about him, he taught me to read time when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
He taught
I
me. He
remember
taught
that.
me.
Yes,
He used to sit
I
me down
remember
and be
that
like,
day.
"This is how it works."
Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah,
I,
just
I,
to
I
remind the viewers, hey, that I mean, amongst the three of us alone, is over 100 years of friendship,
oh
and
yeah,
it's such a beautiful moment there that Nevin's grandfather will forever live in Hein. Yeah,
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. We spent a
Not in a
lot of
dirty
time
way.
together. No, not at all, not at all.
yeah,
So
and
tell
guys,
us,
yeah, that's the unwritten rules of adult life, isn't it?
yeah.
Hmm.
Anything from your side, Klein? I'm sure
Mm.
the viewers would love to know, to pick your brain a bit. There must be some amazing stories hidden behind in that mind of yours.
Well, it's so nice to just hear you guys and to share a laugh. Um, as kids were lots of fun, and if I remember for me, I used to get home very late, from school because I always participated in lots of sports and extramural activities.
Well, you know, if you put it like that, Klein, I think we had each generation. We've heard it from our grandparents, our uncles, our parents. They have their stories similar to ours, and I think the leniency of exploring these things and and having the ability to enjoy them changes over time. You know, look at today's age; everyone's stuck behind a screen, and they don't really do as much as we did. And the same could be said for us from our uncles and our parents. You know, so what I'm trying to say is it might be a fun thing to say about these troublesome things we did as kids. Innocently, of course, we got away with it because we had the platform to get away with it. I think if any of those things happen in this day and age, I think everything is so finely watched, reading the small print on the side. There's cameras everywhere. It helps with safety and all. But over here in this age, you make a blooper, you make a mistake, the world can remember it and it won't be forget. So there's a lot of pressure on the kids of today,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that affects so much of their mental state. You know, um, the world is about the screens, and everybody wants likes and am I important and popular. Our day and age, it was about sports, right? Who was the fastest? Everyone knew that guy in the hood. Who was the fastest? Who could do the best high jump? Who was the rugby stars? Right now, it's about everything else that doesn't show
Yeah,
character,
yeah, you
true
make an
character.
amazing point there because as much as what we don't like to believe it, everything is about performance today. And the
Yep.
children feel that pressure as well. And I think that they grow up before their time because of it. But there's one thing that I'm reminded by now that you just had a moment to break from my conversation is that everything was cheaper. And I always heard the adults speak
Yeah.
about that. And somehow we get to share that with our children that everything is cheaper, you know?
Yes.
Mm.
We've heard that for generations, man.
That's
We
true,
heard it
Yes.
for
man.
generations.
And as kids, you don't understand it
Mm.
whatsoever. And yeah, the unwritten rules again, as you know, come up and shone and won this time. But we get to share that same,
Mm.
concern or um, as inflation rises, we also had experienced what a 10-cent sweet looks like, where our
Mm.
children unfortunately won't get there.
I have a fun question, right? So I'm gonna ask the question. This question is going to say a lot about the type of person you are, right? And we only want honest answers here. It's a hypothetical question, but we only want honest answers. And I'm sure there's going to be some viewers who's going to read your facial cues and say if you're lying. So don't lie. Okay.
Okay, you're
So
gonna
let's
answer
say,
first.
no, 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 no. I'll have to put you guys on the spot for this one. So
Okay.
let's say you woke up tomorrow morning, right? You go onto your banking app, you check your account, and in your account is you have 1 billion. 1 billion, let's call it euros, right? 1 billion euros. Your bank says no, it was donated by someone random to you specifically. Someone watched your podcast, they like you, they donated it to you, right? What do you do with that 1 billion? Tell me like some of your immediate things you're gonna do. And don't come and say the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna donate 100 million to
Yeah, yeah.
No,
whatever,
no,
because
no,
then
no,
you're
no, no, no,
lying.
no,
You are
no, no,
lying.
no.
Yeah,
Let me tell
understand.
you, first of all, except foco. I don't say anything to anyone. I
Okay,
first
these
have
are the
to
answers I like.
process. I
Yeah.
first have to process this whole idea, and then immediately my mind would go like, okay, so the interest of 1 billion is if it's like that, I'll get 100,000,
It's a
100
push lot,
multi.
bro.
That is what I will do, and then from that moment,
Yeah.
I think I'll need like 6 months, maybe not 6 months. I'm lying. Maybe like 3 days, just to continue going to work for 3 days. I thought maybe 6 months, but who wants to work for 6 months, right? Like three more days. Okay,
Three
let's
more
be
days.
say 3 weeks. Okay, just to give you my notice. Okay, say 1 month. Let's say 1 month. Just to reflect on what I'm gonna do after that. But one thing is for sure, in the back of my mind, I will be like, Nevin, don't fuck this up. Okay? So don't don't mess it up. But first, before you do the right thing, go buy 1969 fastback Ford Mustang Cobra Shelby GT. That's the first thing you have to do. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do is buy
Mhm.
that car,
By
and
Eleanor.
then I have to get my Eleanor, and then from there I will start thinking. But a strong part of me, and look, this is interesting. We've always seen in movies, in real life, actors, anyone famous where they are married with the prenuptial without the prenuptial agreement, right? And they lose half of their money. And we are taught through comedians, through everything else, when you get married, make sure that you do that, give your money to your mother and all and everything like that. I have to be honest with you. If there's
Mhm.
anyone that works with money really well, would be my mom. But if she passed away, who does? My wife. And people will be like, no, you can't give that money to. She is perfect with working out things. And I will have to go to her and say, hey, babe, this is where we are. We don't have to work, right?
Mhm.
I don't think our kids need to work. We need to really put this in a structured. I don't know. That's why I came to you. All
So
I
that's
want
gonna be
is
like the first thing you're gonna do. You're gonna be like, go
I,
to your wife and be like, let's do this.
no, the car first. The car first, people. I'm
Okay,
first buying.
first the car.
I'll be like, I bought this car, but after the car, I think you need to look after this shit because if you leave it with me, almal gaan party, meneer. Almal
Mm.
party.
Clyde, what do you say? What are you gonna do?
Very cool answer. I think for me, I'll first tell you boys.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
I'll
I'll be
first
like,
tell
yo,
you
send
boys.
me some, but don't send me.
And you guys will probably get a duck invite to some kind of remote location.
Mhm.
And so we would definitely have a time where we have, break bread and good
O
counsel
Here,
with good
ons
men.
gaan breek, meneer. Die brood gaan nie breek nie, ons gaan breek.
Um, I don't think that if I had to think of it now, like I don't think that I would do any damage to my body with what I would do with the money. So I think it's just to see good people, the ones I love. I think close
Yeah.
friends and family. Have a little Bobby somewhere
Mhm.
remote. Um, and then I think after that, immediately get involved with communication with a financial advisor.
Yeah. But it's
Hundred
interesting
percent.
you say that, eh?
Hundred
That
percent. And
yeah.
then I'm gonna chase all you guys off the remote location, and me and him will spend time there, figuring out where
Exactly.
to invest the money and all that. Um, but other than that, the dream is of course to give back. It's still the dream to have my own organization and to make sure that we can, give hope to the young children of South Africa that don't necessarily have what we have. Uh, But cool question. Your turn, Hein.
Mm.
Nice response there, Klein. Yes, Hein.
So, so me, at least I think the first million blowing it. God, it doesn't even exist.
Mm.
I am traveling to all the places I've always wanted to travel to. Like that, that will be the 1 million will just be that. I'm traveling everywhere. And obviously now I'm not flying coach anymore. No,
Yeah,
no,
of course.
no. Now I need to fly first class, bro. Right? So like these are the things I'll do for the first, but it'll be gone. Alas,
Yeah,
forget about it.
yeah.
And then only after that will I start thinking about, okay, what are you going to do next? Buy a house here, buy a house there, and to give back. It's actually also something I would love to do,
Mm.
right? Like also like this is what our channel is also about, right? Giving back.
Yeah,
So yeah, giving back will be a big part for me. But at first, gone, man,
yes.
gone, wasted. I mean, it's not even going to be useful. It's gone. Forget it existed.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a
dude.
billion is a lot more than
A
a million.
billion's a lot of money, guys,
It's
and
a
Exactly.
lot more than a
the
million. Yeah.
gravity of that. If we have to take a moment of being serious, man, the idea of that given to people that don't know how to work with it, because we've seen in our lifetime, many of us here can confirm and
Or
testify to
attest,
this.
yeah, witness, yeah.
Tes- Testify and witness. We've witnessed this type of thing happening in our lives to people, and without proper guidance, they are nowhere close to what they were before they won that money.
Mhm.
And that tells you it's not a game. It's the you can't just press restart and you get another one up life.
Mhm.
It's a big thing. Money, to have money at that level with that amount of money, the responsibility, the power, the irresponsibility, the know-how, it just shows you, it proves to everyone, if they keep getting like that. I think it's a test, if you think about it.
Mhm.
This lottery, I think governments, I digress, but hear me out. I think
Social
governments,
experiments.
social experiment, they do lottery all over the world, right? Just to give people lots of money and see what they'll do if they just got money. And now they've proven to everyone that more than 80%, just don't know how to handle money, and that the superpowers are safe, that
Mhm.
they know that they will always control the world, because the common sheep will not be able to build from that. You get where I'm saying with it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but that
Mhm.
is, I think,
Yeah, no,
a
you have a
social experiment.
point for sure. And it begs the question, and I wanted to bring this into the fold. Um, would you rather have time or money? And over to you, Nevan, you can start. What would you choose if it was a billion rand, or to live forever?
On this
Oh,
stage in my life,
Leon.
okay, if you make it a reasonable about the reasonable amount of money, I get you what
Sorry,
you
just
say.
to stop you there. Take away the pain and suffering of life. So just the experience of you having children, the experience of you going and traveling to
Yeah,
Venezuela.
but yeah,
Take
yeah.
all of those into account. If you had more time doing the things that you enjoyed in life, would you rather choose
Yeah.
money over time?
Right now, if I consider all my life experiences, I would 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, chase time. If I could have time, wow, time is way more valuable. If I could wake up and let's hypothetically put this idea of time in our heads. Having time means you can wake up when you go to bed tired, you wake up, you refreshed. Having time means you can go and do all the things with your kids, and you can go with him to every training and every match and help him, and having time means you can read every book with them and teach them how. Having time means you can make the meal and show your kids how it's done, or teach him how to change a car wheel, change the oil. That's time. That's so valuable.
But
I
by
would.
the way, that's not always meant it, right? Like you would still have your same job. You still have your, you go to work, you have to come back. You just live longer, right?
Is that
You
what you
don't have, you
meant?
don't have everyday
Yeah, I
choice.
mean that you choose time, and the time meaning that if you were going to do things with the money, what would you do with time? So you have the freedom of time. So the Nevan is answering right.
Oh, so you don't have to work it anymore because then
Just the freedom of time, doing the things
because
that
Freedom.
you
money
enjoy.
gives you that
A lot of
freedom
times
that
that
he's talking
Money
about.
does
people
give you that
enjoy their
freedom.
work.
It's correct.
Mm,
But we've
Yeah,
just explained
sometimes people
before
enjoy their
that,
works. Yeah,
mm,
definitely. But just before that, Hein, he did, or I did, I explained what happens when you give people money
mm,
that don't know how to work with it. There are clear indications of what could happen. And in my life experience, right where I am right now, I would say I have learned from their mistakes. And the one thing I lack in my life that I don't have much of is time. And
Mm.
it only comes from the retrospect of understanding both sides. And the most valuable thing to me is time. I,
But
I don't have enough time in a day.
no, no, I get that, right? But if you do it that way, then the answer is easy. You want to make it more difficult, right? Because if you told me as well, all that money, or I have every day free, I don't have to work, I would choose the time because then I can use the time better. Because then I don't have to go to work for 8 hours, travel for another hour and a half, you know?
It's an interesting question to ask the audience, right? And
Yeah.
ask the viewers, because what happens there is it's a catch 22. Because if there are people watching us now, they would definitely want the money because that's what in their lives is what they need. The question after that should be asked, what will you do with that money? So the same question, the two options that you have is, okay, you've got time, what are you doing with the time? And then the same question is, if it's money, what are you doing with the money? And then we have to be honest with ourselves, and that's a very difficult question to ask. It's interesting question, but it's a difficult question to get honesty out of it, you know, because people have lied to themselves, and we have facts of that they have
Mm.
gotten the money and nah, never
Yeah, but
worked out.
for me, if I have to answer that question, I will take the money always. Because with the money, I won't have to go to work. I will have the time. So
But
why would I
isn't
not take the money?
what this is a difficult, it's a difficult question, because
No,
time is money
I
and
love
money
it.
is time.
I love
no,
it.
no. I
I
think
love
it's
it.
only difficult if the question was you either take the billion or you live till you're 300 years old.
Then that gives
That's different.
that's a different question,
Yeah,
right?
but then it's more difficult. But at this moment, it's easy. Just take
But
the
it just
billion
shows
and don't
this
go to
is
work.
definitely the human condition. We choose to take something and we all have a different interpretation of it. And that's what makes for the conversation beautiful.
Yeah, but I think
Definitely.
Because then it
everyone in the
does
comments
kind
will
of
say a
expose a bit
billion.
of psychological,
Yeah.
personality and who you truly are, according to the question in the moment. This is not necessarily a permanence of character that, we all portray. It's just for the audience to also engage. And
Yeah, but
for me,
definitely the
it's
question
the
still needs
same.
an
The
answer.
question still it poses as you receive a billion, the spending of that, would you spend the same amount of time, or how would you spend your time? And I would definitely take time, because statistically it proves that most people or priests have came with this conversation about people that were on their deathbeds, right? For instance, and almost 100% of the time, they never want to go and spend more of the money they have if they were wealthy people. It was always spending more time with their loved ones. And for me, my answer would be I would want more time, to see generations of children growing up. That's how I would want to spend my time. I don't think money can buy that, unfortunately. Money can't buy the fact that I'm going to spend time with freedom the way I would if I had to spend time knowing that I could have more time with the ones I love.
You see what question he answered? He said, I would love to spend generations seeing the kids. That means you are living generations is one generation is 30 years, right? So you want to spend hundreds of years. That's the question. Do you want to live longer? It's not
Then you have
you
to
just
phrase
want
it like
time.
that, because
Yeah.
the way he answered it in two ways, right? Like, you're right, Klein. I have to go back to that. Steve Jobs was the one on his deathbed, and they asked him, what would you do? And he said he would give everything up that he has created to have more time. He would give up Apple, he would give up everything because he was on his deathbed. So, but that being said, there is a paradox, and there's a little bit of a deeper rabbit hole, if we are allowed to go that way. If you choose, and this is just me being controversial, sorry,
Okay. Okay.
if you
Okay.
choose living longer, right,
Mhm.
you would then watch everyone you love die. and you would have the ability to spend more time with them and enjoy them, but you will have the time, the moments of sadness that's deep and hard. And then you
Mm.
will watch those that you raised and watch those that you loved slowly fade into time as you continue. And then a billion looks way, way much better. But at the same time, it is such a difficult question
Oh,
hanging in the pendulum
okay.
of life and wealth.
I have a counterpoint to that then, right? Okay. Yes, you are right. You'd have to watch everyone you love die, right? But you also saving everyone you love from watching you die. Your kids never have to watch you die. You will always be there for them throughout their entire life till you
Hein,
say
I'm
goodbye to them.
arguing your fact right now.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
as a man,
Yeah.
would never want to bury my kids.
Yes, but same your kids does not want to be buried.
We are going to bury our parents, but if you have to bury your daughter, that hurts.
Yes,
they
it
grow.
hurts you, but at least you're saving your kids from the hurt that they would have experienced with you going.
Definitely, you
Right?
make a point.
I wonder.
But
I
the-
wish a
I have to
filmmaker is
continue.
watching this. This is definitely a script for a movie, gentlemen. So continue.
Yeah, but
I love it.
it's out there. It's called a vampire. You know, it's exactly what it is if you think about it. But you learn so much. Life goes on, blah blah blah, scientifically, and you become something amazing. But the one thing you will always have is the story of how alone you are, and you will always have a life of sadness. It is better to leave a lasting memory than to live a memory forever lasting in silence, because that's it. All the information you would learn just goes to dust. Everything you teach, everything you know goes to dust, and it's only with you. Yes, you enjoy selfishly, enjoy everyone's life. At the
Mm.
end of the day, you alone. I would say
That's
it's
true.
better. It's better to let them put me in the ground than me put them in the
I
ground.
love it. I love how both of your answers swapped around there, and it does definitely give room for both to be considered, isn't it? And so,
Definitely.
I mean, as we move on, and as the show now comes to a point where we would, you know, move on from that specific topic, are
Wait,
you
wait,
guys
before you
okay
move
for
on,
us to move on?
before you move on. So let me just confirm. Klein, you said you are loving forever, right?
Not necessarily love it. I'll take time over money
So love
in
forever.
any
Yeah,
context.
yeah.
So in this last conversation that we just had, it's love forever or billion.
Yes.
So you need to choose love forever.
Because this
Or billion.
question went up the hill
Are
and
you
it went down the
switching
hill.
are you switching my question? Okay, okay, okay.
Exactly. The
Love
question went out of
forever
order.
or billion?
Yes.
This takes away the fact that I'm definitely not a vampire then. Eh?
No. You're just a human
I'm
that
not
loves
agreeing
forever.
to
You're
that.
the
No.
Highlander.
I think I would want to love forever.
Love forever. Same.
I think by then I would spend lots of millions by that time.
Exactly. You would have made lots of billions if you could live forever.
Yeah,
Dude, I could make billions just by the fact that I can live forever.
yeah,
No.
true.
If
And
you
in
asked
that-
me that question when I
But
was
then you're gonna get
25,
locked up.
if you asked me that question when I was 25, I think I would lean more to 100% of agreeing with you. Right now, I'm leaning towards you guys like 80% because I'm thinking about everything else, you know,
Mm.
like the little buggers running downstairs. I'm thinking about that, and I would love to watch them grow, and then they would supposed to help me, and then I'm helping them because they weak, and then they in the wheelchair and they old, and I. It's
But
difficult,
think about it.
difficult.
You would be able to help their children and
Yeah.
their children's children.
Oh,
and
you
you
did
can somehow, you know,
We never, we never thought about that, but that's interesting as well. But then we fuck man, to put it like that, Klein. What is the world and reality? Do they accept you, or do you have to? If you have to really say, like they say, this guy he's an alien because he lives forever. Are they accepting you? because then
No,
your family line will be the most
The
happiest family line.
complexities
they
of
accept
your
you.
of where you taking the question is far and in
No,
between,
they
and
accept
that's for the
they
movie.
accept you.
100%.
They
That's
accept
what
you.
I'm saying.
They
A
accept you.
filmmaker watching this, you would have material,
Yeah,
and
they
reach
accept
out to
you.
them, and I'm sure that he would love
Mhm.
to take you further down the path with us.
That would be so
Um,
lovely because you'd be like, I know your great 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 grandfather. Like, yeah, what was
Mhm.
he like? Yeah, he was my son, and he was an amazing guy, and I see you in him. This sounds like Dragon Ball Z all over again, doesn't it?
what
Yeah,
even an anime more than a
yeah,
movie, lots of
but
material. And in that, guys, as we call it a day with such a wonderful podcast this evening, and such a beautiful moment again for us to connect, is if your life was a movie,
Mhm.
what would your current scene be? In 10 minutes we have.
What do you mean
I
after
would
my
be like,
country?
I would have 1 million, and I would live forever in my movie, and I would be able to watch the generation of all my kids growing up, and I would tell them I know your great 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 grandfather.
Mm,
Exactly that.
Very
I
cool.
mean, everything fell in line, right? You can't argue. What amazing setup.
mm.
You can't unfortunately answer the same. So
Okay, so what's the question?
if your
Yeah.
life was a movie, what's
Mhm.
the current scene?
Currency. Like basically just what would my life movie be about, right?
Yeah.
Well, you get a scene in a movie, and then you get Jack Reacher, you get Matrix. There's specific scenes in the movie. So if your life was a movie, what would the scene be right now? What would the
So
current
in
scene be?
It's
reality,
it's
you
that
ask,
it's that okay, it's that scene from In Pursuit of Happiness, right? Have you watched that
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
going around selling all his you should have nobody wants to buy it, And he's
Yeah.
just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? That's me. That's my life.
I love it. Very cool.
What about you?
Uh,
My scene,
Yeah.
um, I think it's the one where I am approaching the Fifi Islands, and I'm just, the movie The
oh, the
Beach.
beach, Leonardo
Yeah,
DiCaprio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and I think that my current scene is just a moment of enlightenment and awakening to almost a higher purpose.
Mhm.
If I'm forced to put it into perspective that people can relate to in a movie, I think the first thing that popped in my mind, and I watch a lot of movies, but if I'm honest, the first thing that popped in is this is Sparta. Me kicking all the negativity down the hole, man. Like, come
I
on,
love
bro.
it.
All
Very
of you
cool.
coming to challenge me, you Xerxes and all your part. Where he looks back and he says,
Mm.
what does he
It's
actually
like
say?
it's like
He
wife, what
looks
do you
back to
say?
his wife before he
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 kicks
looks
looks
him down
back
back.
to
the
his
pit.
wife.
Yeah. Yeah, but he
Yeah,
says
she nods her
something.
head, yeah.
He
It's
said something.
earth and
Yeah.
water.
Earth and water. There we go.
Mm.
He looks back and she says, yes, go for it, my boy.
You bring
And
the
I just say,
crowns and fall what? You bring the crowns of fallen
this
kings to my
is
steps.
Yeah,
Sparta. Yeah,
correct.
that's my scene right now. I'm challenging the world, and I'm kicking the most powerful down that hole, and I might die at the end. But you know what? They'll talk about that story for a long way. Hell's Gate. I was there.
Very fitting. And me knowing you boys very well, um, well said, perfectly put. And I hope you viewers got to learn some more about our wonderful gentleman on the panel this evening. Hein, closing remarks?
I was gonna put Nevin on for his line. I was gonna go. This is blasphemy. This is madness.
Madness is
It's
there.
gonna make for an awesome reel.
This is Sparta.
And
Yeah,
what's
funny
a
game.
nice quote? A nice quote of your movie, Hein? I think I know one. It's not the man's biggest fear is not how powerful we are, or it's not how
Coach Carter.
inadequate we are, but how
Coach
powerful
Carter.
we can be beyond measure.
Yeah, that's Coach Carter. He's not
Is
fear
that
that
Coach Carter? No, that's
yeah,
Pursuit of Happiness as well. 100%
yeah?
sure.
You know what's a line I like from a movie is what's it, Fallen with Denzel Washington? No,
Yes.
I'm lying.
Fallen. I know Fallen.
Is it Fallen?
Yeah, it's Fallen.
No, it's not Fallen. It's The Usual Suspects. Where it's like
Well, it's one of my favorite movies, bro.
The
Wow,
Usual
that just
Suspects.
speaks into the generation. And I'm excited to the
Yeah.
fact that you know that movie. There's so little people that knows that movie. Kaiser
Yeah.
Slaughter.
Yeah, Kaiser Sosa.
So
It's like,
sorry. Yeah.
It's like the biggest achievement that the devil has ever, or the biggest thing the devil has ever achieved is making people believe that it doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a cool line. I thought.
Yeah.
Is it also in Fallen? I don't know.
I haven't seen. I don't know about the movie you guys are talking about. Usual Subject. I know of it, but I don't recall watching it.
Well, people's gonna
I think-
crucify you in the comments.
Well,
that's
I'll
movie.
edit it out. Check.
I like that lineup scene
Yeah.
where we're like,
I'll never go do your homework. Perhaps that we can have a topic about Usual
I'm
Suspects.
gonna edit that out too.
Thank you, everybody, for your time. We love
What
you.
a
All the
pleasure.
support.
Thanks for sticking around. Until next time, Time in Taxes. We are always here for you guys. What a pleasure. I'm Nev out.
yeah, this is Hein. Thanks, guys, for joining and watching us once again. Looking forward to the next session. Take care, guys.
Peace.